Hey everybody, USFL 24 card set, Kansas City versus Cleveland. As we sit here in, I believe is technically week 16, which would mean 3 games left, the way it works with the bye weeks. We're going to give you at least a short broadcast here, we hope. See how far we make it. Wasn't really planning on this one at all. So, just sort of stop in, look at the game, maybe take a look around playoffs and whatnot. Don't have all the stat packages, dossiers for these teams printed out or anything, so it's going to be a statless broadcast. I'm going to share it if it lets me. Boy, has it been buggy today. Well, look at this. What's driving this? Okay. So, we've got KC and Cleveland here. Cleveland is being coached by a sub-coach. Boy, let me get rid of this here. I hope you're seeing a clean screen. It's hard to know for sure. Let's just take a look at this. There might be a more updated one out there, but you see Cleveland's not in the hunt for the playoffs. The Chiefs are trying to maintain claim for the number 1 seed. Yeah, Cleveland sits at 2-11. I'm not sure if they're in the mix for Coach of the Year. Browns finished with, let's see here, real life wins 3. So yeah, the Coach of the Year is kind of in play as Kansas City misses a field goal on its first drive of what looks to be around 50 some yards. And so they come up empty, and Cleveland is going to get, with Jameis Winston at quarterback, going to get their first crack at it here. Let's settle in, see if we get a good game here. That would be nice. Again, kind of casual during this holiday week, which I actually work tomorrow, but I work from home, sort of remote tomorrow, it being New Year's Eve, so I don't mind staying up a bit later than usual. I'm going to be busy tomorrow, though, from what I can tell. All the stuff buzzing around the office. But that's okay. I'll be ready for it, no matter how long this game might take. As long as it stays close, we'll stick with it. Not meant to be a formal broadcast tonight, because we see Chubb go for 7 yards. We've got this Browns team coached by Vince of Tampa, whose team took a hit this week in the NFC playoff chase. But so did Dallas. And I think there's still some NFC North wildcard contender games to be sorted. So it might just be there's a chance anyway Tampa can sort of only lose time and not a spot in the standings. Don't know yet for sure. On a 1st and 10 inside KC territory, it's a very dangerous Jerome Ford, who's among your better backs in the league in terms of card. Goes for no gain on the dreaded 5, and you see all the damage he could have done on that end run. Brings up a 2nd and 10. KC's very solid defense. Got not as much pass rush as they may like, but plenty of pass rush. Really, I mean, still sufficient to not have to blitz a lot. 3 yards, guessed wrong. Another rough roll there for Jerome Ford. Ford is limited in his carry, so each one is kind of valuable. And now in a spot you don't want to be in if you're Cleveland. 3rd and long, where dump offs and 6 white dies in the flats are perhaps your best means of converting, but hey, anything can happen here. From the KC 45, might be thinking 2 down territory. Goes looking at Chubb. Can you get that 6 on the white die? He can. Look at that. Chubb maxed out at 19 yards. Doesn't get all 30. Puts him up to the KC 26, 1st and 10. Ford stays in the ballgame. Jerry Jeudy, a really nice card. It lands there, but he still can't make the catch. 2nd and 10. And Jeudy had a very successful 2024, 90 catches, as you can see there. Elijah Moore less successful, 8.8 yards per catch. Pretty rough in terms of an outside receiver's average per catch. And there's Njoku also down there at 7.9, but a little better given he's a tight end. End run. Ford looking for that short gain. Gets it for 12 yards. And, this Cleveland team, you look at their record and you just think, well, it must be no offense and decent defense. Well, not really the story last year. Poor and very poor are the ratings for Cleveland as you take a spin at their cards. Take a little bit of injuries as well as we go on the flats to Njoku. Looks like he came up empty or maybe +3. Ward is out. That's a big injury. Wyatt Teller out as well. Yeah, +3, 2nd and 7. KC will want to come out if they can, unscathed, of course. Who would want to get injured? Coming up for KC after this one is Houston before a showdown with Pittsburgh. Possible sack. Yeah, got him. 3rd and 13. And then another showdown with Denver. So interesting schedule coming down the pike here. Houston really playing for all the marbles. They'll be all out giving Kansas City everything they can. Pittsburgh will be doing the same, fighting for the 1 seed. And Denver might be looking at a lot on the line there for both teams. An AFC West crown might be in play, depending on how the schedule plays out in that finale on January 5th. You look at that schedule, kind of increases the importance that KC come away with the expected W here. That sack certainly helps. Going to Elijah Moore, he's dropped again. This time Karflaitis, and you can see there, we got 10 and 8 and 5. I mean, those aren't world beaters in terms of pass rush, but pretty stout, pretty stout. Here comes Dustin Hopkins, and he misses it. Both teams a missed field goal to start, but much more impactful for the underdog there, not to get out to a lead. KC figures they'll have a lot of more chances as they go. So now KC starts out on their second possession. 3:54 left in this scoreless first quarter. It's an off tackle to Hunt. A lot of linebackers hanging around. It's got a couple good readings, but this case, he finds the no gain on the leaky Cleveland one linebacker hard, 2nd and 10. Flat pass Noah Gray. He's double teamed by Thornhill. And Thornhill makes a huge play there. Not just missing the interception, but the 6 on the white die and the snake eyes would have been a long gain. Wiped out for Kansas City. And Noah Gray has the asterisk, so he could even go all the way. He can go as long as it takes him. Instead, 3rd and 10. Short pass Watson, again correctly double teamed. Rodney McLeod on the double this time. Looking for a dump off, perhaps, if you're a KC. They find the dump off. Can they get the first down yardage? They can, Kelsey. So all the right moves there for Vince. Well done, sir. But a couple plays in a row of perfect play calling. Nonetheless, KC winds up in Cleveland territory, as no high linebacker was coming. Up against Creed Humphrey, the center. Probably wouldn't have been successful anyway. Looking past Kelsey, if 5 is there, guessed right. Going to get 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Checo in at halfback. It's a short pass, Noah Gray. Blitzers making their presence known here. Incomplete. Brings up another 3rd and long. Up against 3-2-6. Going to Kelsey, 4-man zone. Not much pass rush. Kelsey makes the big catch and converts another 3rd down for KC to the Cleveland 35. KC comes out 3 wide here. Facing a 4-2-5 nickel. Doesn't want to give up that 4-man front. Here's a flat pass against a 0. 6 white die. Yields 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Now Carson Steele checks in as your lone setback. Looking past Kelsey, nobody home. Holding on KC following this incompletion. Bring up a 2nd and 12. Kelsey double teamed on this 2nd and 12 now. Another bailout dump off yards. Yes, 17 possible penalty. Waved off. Boy, defensive coach is dialed in. Not making a difference. 1st and 10 to the 20 for the Chiefs. Blocking back formation with Perrine. Nobody home. 9 yards for Smith-Schuster. 2nd and 1. Steal back in. From the 11-yard line. 13:48 now as we're into the second quarter. That's what remains in our first half. Linebuck steal. Men are there, but guessed wrong. 7 yards plus the offside. You'll take that play and get down to the 4-yard line, decline the penalty. Unless you want to preserve Carson Steele carries for some reason. Indeed, declined, and it's 1st and goal to 4. So in many ways, an unlikely drive here for KC, trying to cap it off with the TD. Cleveland defensive calling has been on point on this drive. And once again on point, getting Hunt on the key. It pays off this time. 61 on the fumble roll, but Hunt is a minimum 9, as you can see there. Right there. That's the most he'll be, is 9 at his min fumbles. Second goal. With Pacheco in now as your lone setback here. A lot of 6s. Don't need the full house so much if you're running inside. Outside helps a bit. Saw a pretty mean Cleveland pass rush when everybody's coming. Got to be flashing those 90s up there. Got to be in the back of mind of the Kansas City coach. Indeed it is. End run. McGuire can't make the play. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's Pacheco who gets into the end zone. Bucker, I think he's a 2 through 10 guy. 2 through 10, 12. He hits. And it's 7-0. KC, 12:36 left, first half. Low scoring so far. Just 3 possessions so far, combined. 2 resulted in missed field goals. 1 that touchdown drive. Strong now is your back for Cleveland. And you see his 26 attempts, so he's limited with low usage. Off tackle the strong. 6 yards is not going to be 6. It's going to be 4, but not going to matter as KC was offsides. It'll be 1st and 5. Long pass, Judy. Man is back there. Plenty of pass rush if the D-dash shows up. Incomplete on the card of Winston, which for this set, from a completions point of view, ain't so bad. See the interception there staring you in the face, pretty much an auto interception on 8. Another offsides on KC. That's enough for the first down. 2 offsides, 1 first down. For Cleveland at their own 40. A must run on the short pass from Winston. It's 3, 2nd and 7. Pierre Strong stays in the game here. Guess right. Off tackle. No gain. No penalty. Good news for the Chiefs there, finally. 3rd and 7 from the 43. I expect KC to keep those linebackers right where they are, so the short pass is your way to go. It's a draw. Indeed, they kept their linebackers home. Kept everybody home. 5 yards. Let's see if that means it's 4 down territory. That's not a bad gain. You can't do much better than that in that contained situation. 4th and 2. It looks like we're going to see him go for it. It's probably fiddling with his halfbacks here. Winds up with Ford in the backfield. In this high leverage play. It's a 4-3, not blitzing. It's an off tackle. Guessed wrong. Clear sailing for Jerome Ford. Didn't he avoid the dreaded 5? He can. It's 5 yards. 1st down up to the 47-yard line. Dante Foreman in at halfback now. Foreman's carries were 71. He'll avoid low usage, but averaging just 3.3, so he'll typically not get too much this time. 5 yards, a pretty good run for him. 2nd and 5. Certainly a successful 1st down. As these teams inch along, eat up clock. Both of them on the drives thus far. Back to Foreman. This time just 2 brings up a 3rd and 3. Ford back in the game. So we wait the play call. It's a flat pass. A 5 is there. Tough spot here. Can Cleveland eke it out? No. Your average kicker in the stock set is long as 40. And I don't know if that's the case here for Cleveland. They're going for it anyway. Ford in the backfield. Let's see here. It'll take you out to a little bit below average, to the 39-yard line. Is Dustin Hopkins, who's 2 through 6, 11, 12. But being technically out of range, he would need variable help to get it through. We see Cleveland going for their second 4th down attempt on drive. Off tackle, Ford, guessed wrong, man is there, needs my card. If you're Cleveland, gets it, and it's a touchdown for Ford. He goes the distance. The offsides will be waved off. Njoku out for the rest of the half. So eventful play. When it's all said and done, it's a 7-6 ball game. Truth be told, that's not a bad price to pay in terms of injury for a 1-1-1 roll. Could have lost Ford, for example, easily. And now Cleveland, sticking with their high-risk theme here, going for 2. Short pass, guessed wrong. Foreman in zone, incomplete. Winston can't find it. 7-6, KC leads, 7:12 left, first half. Touchback. Steal. Once again, the back. Pass, man is there. But they pass rush coming. Loses 3. 2nd and 13. Cleveland has done pretty well on 1st and 2nd down so far in terms of D. Can they force another 3rd and long? Short pass. Noah Gray complete. That leaky short pass card. 1st and 10 to the 41. Too tight versus a 4-2-5. It's an off tackle. Lots of double teaming. 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Short pass, guess wrong. Opportunity here. 13 yards. Cleveland gives up some first down yardage there, and KC's on the move up to the 42 of Cleveland. 4:48 left, first half. Looking past Pacheco, finds a 6 on the white die, 10 yards, 1st and 10 to the 32. Now 3 wide. With Pacheco. In the backfield, it's a draw to Pacheco. It's the 1 white die, but the personal foul on Cleveland makes it a very positive play for the Chiefs. Penalty accepted. 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Nobody home. Kelsey gets 5. Sees at the 10. The much-loved flat pass play for the Chiefs still in play. Hunt is keyed up the gut, loses a yard. Brings up a 3rd and 6. Incomplete. On Mahomes' card. Was looking for Kelsey. And Bucker going to come out from the 11. And he will miss it again. Blocked, possible penalty. See, the kick block was on, so you have activation of the running into the kicker scenarios here. Let's see how this turns out. So hold on, everybody. Is it a clean block? Do we have a flag? Refs are talking about it. It's a hold against KC. That's going to be declined. They held him and he still blocked the kick. Looks like Cleveland took it back a ways. They got a nice return there out to the Cleveland 36-yard line. Remember, the starting line of scrimmage was the 11. So probably got some yards. Probably started out 7 yards back. I'm not sure how that's done. But even still, even if that was 7 yards back, it's still a nice return for Strat. And Cleveland's looking to get a lead here and run forward. Can he find a biggie? Been going to his car, but not this time. Drew Tranquil can't make the play. Gets 4. Would have been a tough roll on the offensive card, so he'll take those 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Let's check on Ford's carries here. Oh, too late for that. Chubb, however, has 12. We hit the 2-minute warning. Goes 3 wide versus a 4-3. Short. Winston is going to dump it off, and he's going to pick up 9 yards. First down up to about midfield here. Time not too much of an issue here for Cleveland, at least at this juncture. They choose to hurry up. Not the worst thing to do. They could also call a timeout. It looks like they're hurrying up. Indeed, keep that 4-3 matchup. You know, it's appetizing for Judy. Instead goes to Elijah Moore. And Winston is picked. KC, chance to return this guy from about the 37-yard line, 36-yard line. And they're going to wind up, looks like, with very little gain. After McDuffie picks off Winston. So now a minute and a half for KC to work their way into field goal range or more. Lots of zeros at the corners for Cleveland. Rice finding an empty zone, gets 6. Got out of bounds. 1:22 left in half. Looking pass. Man is there this time. Incomplete, though, on Mahomes' card. 3rd and short for KC. So pretty entertaining first half given the matchup. See if KC can end it with some fireworks, though, and get a little cushion going into the second half. Not a bad line for Mahomes, 75% completions. A little over 8 yards per attempt. But 2 missed field goals have hurt the Chiefs. 1 missed field goal for Cleveland. I believe. 3rd and 4, too tight. It's a flat pass. There's a man there. No grade, just needs 4. He gets 6. First down. Couldn't get out of bounds. KC has all 3 timeouts. They're at midfield. And they call their first. Three wide. Hunt is your back. Short pass Kelsey. 4-man errand zone. He'll pick up 12. Which is going to put KC up to the 37, back into field goal range here. With a minute left. You're not at the point where Mahomes has to take a shot deep to at least try for 7. You can get 7 the old-fashioned way. With all those zeros out there, still wouldn't surprise me to see a deep ball here or soon from KC. And on this 1st and 10, they go short. Kelsey doubled. Another triple-double. Incomplete. Delpit would have made the play either way. Double team piles on, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Two type versus 3-3-5. So see Tampa liking to double. They have all sorts of opportunities to double now with 2 guys who can affect double teams in the flat as well here in this matchup. It's a long pass to Noah Gray. He's not doubled. Nobody's back there. He's got nobody on him. Incomplete. Boy, all sorts of opportunities there for KC. That deep shot came one play after we thought we might be seeing one here shortly. And now it's 3rd and 10. KC, one of your lowest long pass percentages in the league in terms of play calls. But we could sense one was coming there. Most teams will take a shot when you're in this territory late in the half. And they really had a good chance to get it. Flat pass now. Green, he's doubled. And it's picked off. Oh my. Here comes Cleveland with an opportunity. I'm sure we'll go out of sync or something. We'll miss it somehow, but we'll see, hopefully. By the time it all shakes out, what happened here? Here we go. It is a return of not much. Let's take a look at the non-flat pass return card for Cleveland. As you see, they're a great call yet again on a double team. Cleveland's got a very poor interception return card. So still more on the flat pass. I think there's an obligatory touchdown that comes in, but didn't hit it. Short pass now. Cedric Tillman trying to avoid another pick. Is Winston. Can he avoid the pick? Looks like he will. Yeah, 19 yards again for Chubb. This is long twice now. Cleveland uses its first timeout. with a total of 5 ticks left, 30 mark, 22, 15, 8, and 1. So they have 4 plays to work their way into field goal range, which starts at the KC 39. They're 10 yards out from that. It's a 3-2-6 here. Short pass, Elijah Moore. Incomplete on the interception split. Jones couldn't hit the 24% sack. Second and 10. You see that dime? That might have been a reason to go 3 wide, 2 running backs, and see if you can draw a dime against Ford, maybe. But instead, we see the 3 wide here with Chubb in the backfield. Whiteheart in for Njoku, who's out for the next 22 seconds with an injury. It's a flat pass to him being Whiteheart. And he's going to get 2 yards on his very poor yak. Brings up now a 3rd and 8 with 22 seconds. Most likely 2 down territory. So let's see if we see a 3 wide here. I would expect we don't. You might even see a 2 tight sort of look. No, we're seeing 3 wide. Because this is 2 down territory. In theory, anyway. Still might be. Another dime. You might see Chubb up the gut here. Be his last time out, though. That'll make life a little bit difficult. Short pass, Judy. 4 men in zone, and he's sacked. Carlitis gets in. And the Chiefs use the timeout. They don't have a burner returning. I'm not sure about Cleveland's 12 roll in their coverage. Coffin corners it. I would. Offsides against. Yeah, you should accept that penalty because you'll get a tick down to 1 second, and then you can go deep with a bomb. So accept that, and then you can throw a Hail Mary. So it should tick down to 1 second. And it does. So here's your Hail Mary chance for the Browns. Not sure who holds the asterisk, who does not. He's in the shotgun, which takes away any chance of an end run here by a wide receiver. Judy's doubled, sacked again. Didn't fumble. And that's the end of the first half. 7-6 Kansas City leads. It's been pretty good. Tell you what, I think we've seen some really, really strong defensive coaching from Vince here. And his field goals haven't hurt either. The effort. Let's try to get a halftime interview here from our commissioner. As we'll stroll through the box score. KC 181 to 115. That looks about right. Feels about right. Mahomes, pretty precise. He's come off that 75% mark, but Still down to 68%. That big pick and that beautifully called double team of Perrine by Vince. Putrid running for the Chiefs. And this is not a vintage Cleveland defense, so that's interesting. And all the double teams, you might see some running here from the Chiefs in the second half, or at least that's the way the box score would suggest that it should go. Maybe some draws with all the blitzing that's happening. You see 0 for 2 for Bucker, 0 for 1 for Hopkins in terms of field goal attempts. So with that, we will take a little break, I guess. As we await Cleveland to emerge from the locker room, they'll be getting the ball. I think Ford might have around 8-9 carries left. I mean, and that's the key leverage point for Cleveland, and really their main hope. You saw them struggle without Ford in the backfield. But when he's in there, that puts any defense, doesn't matter how good it is, it puts you in a bind. Touchback kicks us off here. Short pass to a double team, Jerry Judy. Coach Irvin returning the favor of all the successful double teams. Cleveland hoping for a dump off. They get it. They get yards? Yeah, they get 11 from Elijah Moore and his poor yak. Could be a lot more from Moore, but it's not. Blocking back with Foreman. It's a line buck. Penalty is a false start. 1st and 15. Ford is in the game. He gets an end run. It's guessed wrong. Does not go to his card. Just 3 yards. 2nd and 12. Foreman back in. That was the opportunity. Now the chance of a first down is reduced substantially behind the sticks for Foreman and Winston as your battery. You're going to need some good dice to have this work out. Blocking back versus 3-3-5. Well, you got some additional opportunities in the switch from a 4-man front to a 3-man front that makes running look interesting. Instead, it's short pass to Njoku. Can we find a completion? We cannot. Even on Njoku's card, it's 3rd and long. 3 wide versus 326. Judy is the target. He's not doubled. Incomplete on Winston's decent short pass right card. And Cleveland will punt it away down a point from 61 yards out. It's going to travel 51 plus 9, and you're going to decline that because it's going to pin the Chiefs back at the 1. What a punt. $99 yards to pay dirt for these Chiefs. Up a point. First order of business is to get out and grab field position back because you don't want to set up Cleveland for a field goal quickly with field position here. It's Hunt. No, we don't have formation yet. Here it is. There's Hunt and Gray in the backfield. From the 1. A lot of negatives on Hunt's card. Not a lot. He's not bad. But I don't think he's safe even on linebuck, right? Guess right? Oh, he's safe. He's pretty darn safe. He's going to avoid the dreaded 5. It's a look-in pass. Nobody's home. Opportunity for KC. They get 12 yards out from the 1-yard line. Nice pickup. 1st and 10. Now goes to Hunt up the gut, up against his 3-3-5, and he's got to start doing some good work. And there you go, 20 yards for Hunt. Got to assume the way that Vince is just so dialed in on the doubles. Have to look to these halfbacks against this leaky D, maybe some draws, and work your way down the field on the ground. Back to Hunt. This time a good 5 yards. Successful first down, 2nd and 5. Field position certainly is flipped at this point. Back to sort of a normal game state here from the 38, 2nd and 5. 11:24 left, 3rd quarter. Back to the ground to Hunt. Another 5, 1st down. Two runs on the defensive card there. This time guessed right as he works his way back to Hunt, and he gets 4 anyway. Nicely done, 2nd and 6. Coach Irvin certainly got the memo about running as he runs again for another 20. So this is not being broadcast on YouTube right now, unless you really dig for it. So Coach Irvin and I just seem to be of the same mind, coincidentally, here in terms of coming out running. All the way up to the Cleveland 33 now. Looking pass. Gonna get a loss due to the penalty. Wipes out a 16-yard gain. 1st and 15. Xavier Worthy gets a first down. Nicely done on his good yak. Up to the 22. KC looking at the possibility of a 99-yard drive right in the face here as they move toward the red zone. 1st and 10. Keed Hunt. Loss of 1. Too tight versus a 4-2-5. It's a long pass. Guessed right. Nobody back there, though. Incomplete on Mahomes' card. It's a long pass column that has a low enough interception, but low completions for Mahomes. Sort of rely on the D card if you're Kansas City. And now a 3-2-6 in this 3rd and long. Cleveland defense trying to get off the field here. It's a short pass to Kelsey. He is doubled by Thornhill, and it's complete. Mahomes 12 sneaks by the INT, and it's a first down at the 12-yard line. That's a big-time throw there from Mahomes. No, not really. You also get flat pass interceptions, Vince. Come on. Blocking back. Short pass, Kelsey. Blitzer coming. And flushed. Missed on a 40%. Gonna get a touchdown. Noah Gray brings it in. 13-6 KC. 99-yard drive completed. Beautifully done. Mostly on the back of Kareem Hunt. KC looking to make it a 2-score game. It's the linebacker to Mahomes looking for 2. He's guessed wrong. He's got it. Carson Steele out for the rest of the game. It's 15-6. KC gets some comfort. 2 scores, big lead for this Cleveland team to try to overcome. And looks like KC's kicking again. Touchback. Cleveland's got a bit of a hole to dig out of. 4-man in zone short pass cast right. Difficult recipe here for the Browns. Gets dump off though. Gets 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Blocking back formation with Foreman. To give to Foreman, gets 4. We'll set up a 3rd and short. It's a long pass. KC ready for it. Gonna get the pick. It's almost more likely than a reception. Instead, it's a dump off for 13. Njoku brings it in. First and 10. Foreman is your back. Njoku, 3 men in zone, guess right. 14 yards. Just misses the long gain, no penalty. Up to the KC 34. Cleveland can't squander opportunities like this. That's for sure. Gotta score when you get down here. Another invitation to run. It's accepted by Cleveland, and they get possibly 4 yards. No, it's going to be a offside against KC. Makes it 1st and 5. Now up to the 29. KC back to a base defense. And back to Foreman. Man in zone. Gets a yard. Excuse me. Flat pass. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Akins gets 5. Up against 2 tight. It's a blitzing 4-3 for KC. Ford is in the game. Let's see if we can catch Ford's carries here. 7 left, so healthy amount. It's an end run to Ford. Nobody's home. Ford loses a yard. Big play there. 2nd and 11. Ford's long run has given Cleveland all their points today. Plus 62 reading that went for 40 something, I think. 2nd and 11. Goes 3 wide now. Gotta imagine he's got a hunt for points here. I expect flat passing, looking pass. No, it's a short pass. Risking that big INT. 4-man zone as well. Gets another dump off. And gets 19 Chubb. Mr. 19 yards. His third 19-yard reception of the day. Gets to the KC 5. Those 4 yards are a pretty big deal. First and goal at the 1 is a lot different than first and goal at the 5. Ford, use one of his carries down here, huh? I'd use him when a big hit counts more. I'm gonna run him. Man is there. Gets 4 yards. 2nd and goal from the 1. Full house now. Chubb and Ford. It's the line buck Winston. Guessed right. Winston is in. 15-12. Should go for 1 here. No reason to go for 2. Hopkins is on. Important extra point is good. 15-13. 2:42 left, third quarter. They'll start from 36. Sorry, 27. The Chiefs flashed a lot of run on the last drive. Was it used to soften up the defense for some passing here or stick with the run? I don't know the answer to that question. Well, 4-2-5 invites some running. And it's a flat pass. Nobody home. Guessed wrong. Everything in KC's favor. And they're going to get 3. That's a subpar result on that nicely rated Yakov-worthy. 2nd and 7. .206 left, third quarter. Now with the base defense, off tackle Pacheco. He's got an opportunity here. However, Shelby Harris makes a play. 3rd and 7. Chance for a 3 and out for Cleveland. Big opportunity. 3 wide. We see a 4-2-5 or a 3-3-5? A 3-3-5. Going to Hardman. He's going to get 6 of it. 4th and 1. You're going to have to punt if you're the Chiefs because you have to trust the Cleveland offense is going to have trouble going a long way here. Ariza puts it to the 14-yard line. Here's our return. It's the number 1 back. Gets 12. Yeah, that holds up. So 74 yards for a touchdown, but less than that for the lead for Cleveland. And now we see Ford in the backfield with his 5 carries without any hindrance, but he's got more than that. That 1 yard is not a big deal, not a big deterrent at the first level of fatigue for Ford. It's a looking pass to Ford. Can Winston get it there? Just 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Ford and a yak. But went to his receiver card with a lot of lackluster readings there. End run Ford, looking for a big hit. Can he get his card? He can. Short gain 17, finds it. Up to the 45. As we move into the fourth quarter, it's 15-13 KC. The difference is 2-point conversions. KC 1 for 1, Cleveland 0 for 1. Locking back with Ford in the backfield. It's a short pass. Elijah Moore gets 10. Big completion there. Anytime you get completions, short or long for Winston, it's an achievement. That pass rush that was coming, it was real. Into KC territory, 14-24 left, fourth quarter. End run guessed right. Ford gets 2. Conklin can't make the play. 2nd and 8. As Ford's carries dwindle, he stays in. He's got 3 left unfatigued. End run Ford. Opportunity. Can they cash it? No, it goes to the defensive card. 3rd and 5. Ooh, 1 yard away from field goal range. 3 wide. We're going to think about running. Invite that one white die onto the field. Running is a real option here. I would have expected to see it too tight. Some sort of base formation. You're almost better off running Winston and Linebuck than risking the one white die and a loss, etc., etc. If you're going to run. I mean, it could really work out, of course, with Ford. There's lots of ways it could work out, but what's your best way to get a yard? Flat pass, Tillman. Can he get a completion at least? That's an iffy proposition. Tillman brings it in for a short gain. 14 yards. Wow. Up to the KC 26. Ford stays in. I'm not burning his carries here. I might be going looking. See if you can piece together 10 yards that way. Preserve the carries and walk off with the lead. Short pass Judy. Pass rush is a threat here. He gets 10. D-die avoidance. Ford still in from the 16. Obviously, Ford's short gains make it an attractive proposition to have him down here. No doubt. So there's a case to be made for that. All things being equal, I like him from further distance, but I get it. Boy, and they go nickel blitz. Inviting the run to Ford. They get it. Can Ford bring it home from 16 yards out? No, it goes the defensive card. 2nd and 5 from the 11. Second half, Ford's just seen his card one time, I believe. First half, we saw it a lot. Ford down 2-1. Yeah. It's a look in. Guessed wrong from 11 yards out. Incomplete. 3rd and 5. Contain is on. That was a real opportunity there for Cleveland. And hit the interception split. 3 wide with Chubb. Do you go for the end zone here? You got a good shot if you want it. It's risky because the lead's right in front of you here. Or do you hope for a 6 white die and throw in the flats? Those are the options. If I'm Cleveland, I'm going for the short pass at this point. Just because, it's a touchdown if you get it most of the time. And it's a big deal. Instead, it's a draw to Chubb. Needs 5. Needs a defensive card. Not going to get it. 4th and 2 now from the 8. Got to kick it. Especially 2 yards out. Got to kick it. If it was 1 yard, you might put some thought into it. But they already went 99 yards on you. Yeah, you got to kick it. Hopkins on. Probably 2 through 10 or 2 through 11 here. He missed it! He missed it on the 11 roll! He's only 2 through 9. Oh, my. KC takes over at the 20. Heartbreak for the Browns. Defense got off 3 and out last time. Can they dial up another one? Plenty of time. 10:30 left to play, but off tackle, guessed right. Whose card? It's the Cleveland card, and that's 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Flat pass, gas wrong. Nobody home. Opportunity here for KC. First and 10 up to the 36. KC hoping to come up with a drive that's the knockout punch here. It's too tight versus a 4-2-5 nickel. Guessed wrong. Flat pass. Looking for yards. Gets them 8. Clock down to 9:18. Linebuck to Hunt. And a pretty big holding call there. Going to make it 2nd and 12. So Would have been a 3rd and 1. Casey now has a little bit of work to do. From behind the sticks, not a great place to run. It's the nickel. So 2 safeties are freed up here. Flat pass Hunt. Another hold against KC. Got to accept that. Make it 2nd and 22. Flags here, stymieing the Chiefs. Too tight, he'll see a nickel here. It's a draw to Pacheco. Boxes are activated. Gets 6 of it back. Wanted more than that. 3rd and 16. Just missed the short gain. Three wide versus a 3-2-6-9. It's a looking pass. Man is there. So good setup. Penalty is another one against KC. We do it again. This time it's 3rd and 21. We saw the looking pass on 3rd and 16. Are we going to see much different on 3rd and 21? That very poor interception return card from Cleveland. Maybe a factor at some point. Probably not here, though. I can't imagine we'll see a deep ball. We might, but that interception return card is a reason to do it, but more likely a flat pass. Smith-Schuster is doubled by Jordan Hicks. And it's guessed wrong. Came very close to converting on a long gain. Doesn't get it done. 4th and 21. KC looking for a good kick from Ariza here. Do they get it? They get a decent one, 49 yards. So somewhere in the mid-20s is the return. Fair catch from the 26. 7:30 left, halfway through, 4th quarter. It's a 2-point game. Ford is in. 1 carry left unfatigued. Starts it out with him. It's guessed wrong. Chance for Ford to do some damage. Gets the defensive card again. 2nd and 7. Ford stays in. Back to Ford or not? Yes, Ford inside now. Boxes are activated. Gets 6. 3rd and 2. Would have had the short gain on the end run. Chubb is in now. Makes sense to me. I would say it's 2-down territory. As long as you don't lose yardage. Big play call here. It's a guess to right line buck. Whose card? Holding! No, offside! Sorry, it's KC. First down every which way you choose it. You're going to accept that penalty, preserve that carry for Chubb. Oh, declines it. I'm not sure what Chubb's carries are. Oh, he got 15 because of the boxes. Pardon me. So, of course, you decline it. Yes, indeed. Up to the 49. Too tight with Chubb. Back to Chubb. Nobody in zone. He gets 3. 2nd and 7. Ford checks in. He's 1 carry away from level 2. You use it here. Yes, guessed wrong. And once again, it goes to the defensive guard. Worth 6 yards, though, this time. 3rd and 1. From the 42, 3 yards out from field goal range. Positively 4-down territory here, which is going to be in the back of the mind of the defensive coach. He tries to sneak Judy out behind the defense. Got to be aware of that possibility here in this 2-down territory situation. We await this all-important play call. Look-in pass. Guessed wrong. Njoku. Can't bring it in! Good defensive card of KC pays off, and now it's a 4th down and 1 yard. Goes full house. That's going to rule out your flat pass. It's Ford and Chubb. Winston as well is a possibility here. Looking for a yard. Short pass to Judy looms out as well. Interesting. Really interesting play call here. Here we go. Non-blitzing 4-3, which is an interesting call. Might have wanted that 8th man in the box. It's a guessed right line buck. Winston, can he get it? He can! 6 yards and well into field goal range now. Batonio makes the big block on his upgraded 5 in the full house. Would have been a first down either way, but that really helps with field goal positioning. Now under 4 minutes. Ford back in. He's at level 2 now. So really only 2 good carries left for Ford before you pretty much got to get him out of the game. He's going to go there now. Yes, and it's guessed wrong. Where is this going? It's going once again to the defensive card on a 5 roll, so it works out, I guess. If you're going to get a 5 roll, 2nd and 5, 1 carry left for Ford before he's pretty much useless. But at the 31, I guess that's all right. It's back to Ford again. Guessed wrong. Short gain is going to go for 12. Big play by Jerome Ford as he is hobbling off the field, presumably here, as he hits fatigue level 3. He stays in. Well, it's automatic guess right? Fatigue level 3. 242 left now. I would expect flat passing is what I would expect. It's short passing. Oof. All sorts of bad things can happen for Cleveland. Here, but it's complete for 11 to the 8. Jerry Jeudy brings it in. Clock's going to tick down to 2:06. What formation will we see here? Kind of would expect a full house. Don't get it. It's Pierre Strong. And his low usage with containment. Not sure what his fumble percentage is. This next play will take us to the warning. Strong is keyed. Gets 3 yards anyway. That's a nice roll for Cleveland. And we are at the warning. KC will get the ball back. Minute 37 left or so. In most scenarios here, you could have something like all sorts of things. Turnover, of course, would preempt that. And here's Ford back in the game. Interesting. What are you doing with him? Gotta say, I don't get that. Buck Winston, maybe? Short pack, Njoku, lots of blitzers. They get him. Doesn't fumble, however, which consider that a win. Now you're pretty much out of short pass range. Pretty sure level 3. I guess I could check it. Do I have the ability to check it somewhere? I won't worry about it because Chubb is in anyway here. I would expect to look in, hoping for the 6 white die. Maybe out in the flats. I mean, that Ford is good for that. His yak. Yeah, that's a reason to have Ford in the game right now because nobody else comes close. Judy's your best option. He's the most likely guy to get double teamed here. Short pass doesn't really help you. So you're better off doing something else. Tillman, risky move here. Risky gets a holding call. Oh, my. All right, time to look at the kicker a little closer. Because that's what Tim's looking at, too. Yeah, you're going to want to push him back because you're going to want to hope for that 8 or 9 roll on the kick versus the time that you're going to save. It's worth it to push him back, and he does. Into that next bracket. Goes 3 wide, surprisingly. I would expect a run here. Goes 3-3-5. Surprise there a little bit. I almost would have expected the 4-3. It would have been a good spot for the 4-3. And we wait the play call, which to me is a linebuck Winston or a linebuck Chubb. Take your pick. Linebuck Winston gets 4 big yards. Nice job. 4th and goal now from the 19. Gets that back to 2 through 9. You know, Casey's missed some field goals here. Turnabout's fair play. Will Hopkins hit it? Or will he return the favor again? The kick is good on the 9. The run by Winston makes the difference. It would have been no good from the 23-yard bracket. 16-15, 1:30 left. Big kickoff here. It's a great effort, no matter what, from this 2-win Browns team today. It just goes to show the importance. I mean, Jerome Ford makes all the difference, right, on offense. He's the great equalizer, sure. But when you have a coach who's calling well on defense, I mean, that's your equalizer, right? That gives Ford the opportunity to do his work. Flat pass worthy. He's double teamed by McLeod. Incomplete. Nicely done. I mean, just another massive defensive call. Pre now in the backfield. I would expect a 3-2-6. And there it is. It's kind of a flat versus deep game. I mean, that's what it feels like to me with all the double teaming going on. That opens up the deep ball a little bit, usually. Flat pass, Kelsey, nobody around. Opportunity, it falls incomplete on Kelsey's card. Oh, heartbreak. 2nd and 15. Isn't that 3rd? Oh, there was a penalty. Excuse me. Oh, I missed it. It's late, people. Forgive me. Literally have blurry vision right now. That's how tired I am. Actually do. Jeez. Okay, 2nd and 15. 3 wide. Noah Gray not on the field. I know he has the asterisk. 3-2-6. Short pass. 4 men in zone. Not doubled. Looking for a first down. Gonna get flushed. Looking for a big roll here. Gets 1. Out of bounds, though. Is your silver lining. In case he has only 1 timeout left. 3rd and 14. They got work to do all over the place, do the Chiefs. They got to climb out of this 3rd and 14 hole. And they got to manage a way to get down to field goal position. Bucker, not quite the Bucker of old this season. Not bad, but can't just pop over the 50-yard line and expect to be able to kick it in. Short pass, Kelsey. 4 men in zone. Incomplete on the 2-1-1 roll. 4th and 14. This is your ball game. How will Casey line up here? That's a good formation. 4 wide. Gray in the backfield. I love Gray. You can do some work here, but he's not going to get you a short pass receiver 14. Jawan Taylor up on Myles Garrett. Gray does give you. He also gives you a 4 back there against Garrett, which is nice. See, it's a 5% chance typically. Linebackers don't bring much pass rush. Certainly against Tooney they won't, so use him to double. Careful though, Gray. You got a reason to keep Gray back there because of Garrett. You know, so got to protect against the deep ball. Got to put 2 men back there. It's a long pass to Hopkins. He's not double teamed. 2 men are back. Incomplete. Just misses. Penalties waved off. Cleveland is going to win it. Wow, and a big upset. The Denver Broncos are certainly happy about it, as are the Steelers, as are the Buffalo Bills. Send the message here. It's final. Cleveland comes up with the unlikely win, 16-15. Okay, so broadcasts, copy link, got a direct message. Vince, go. And we will await a join. In the meantime, see Cleveland evened out the yards in the second half. Certainly felt like it. I don't know that Kansas City had a bunch of yards in the second half. I didn't feel like that 99-yard drive certainly helped. Hello, Tim.
Hey, what's up, man?
Welcome aboard. How are you?
I've got 3 words for that game. That damn Vince.
Yeah, what a game. What a game for him
Congrats,
defensively.
congrats to him. I can't take anything away from him. You're playing a team that's not carded very well. You've got some things you can do with that team with Jerome Ford and whatnot, but I congratulate him. That's not an easy win for him, and he got it done.
Sure did. Welcome, Vince.
Hi.
There he
Congratulations.
is.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get Cleveland next year if they become open.
Nicely done. I tell you what, that was one of the better called defensive games I've seen in a while, I thought. You did just an incredible job double teaming.
It seemed that every time I did it was a gain. Like it would.
Well, except a flat pass interception.
Yeah. That one. Yeah.
There's that one.
But it would get a lot of gains, but then something would happen, like a missed field goal or one was blocked, I guess, and then I missed an easy one. So,
but the game really seemed to turn a lot in the second half. There was a 99-yard drive by the Chiefs, and I think that was it. Am I wrong about that?
I was hoping to get a safety there and maybe get back ahead, but you made a lot of nice calls there and went right down the field.
But other than that, it was a half that seemed to be dominated in time of possession by the Browns. Felt that way. I'm going to check the ball position.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
I looked in the first half. It was like Kansas City had like 18 minutes, and I thought I had it longer. But
wow, 8 first downs, a 99-yard touchdown drive. If you include the penalties, I drove 104 yards for that touchdown. Speaking of which, I had plenty of penalties. But yeah, after that drive, a grand total of 10 net yards on 3 possessions.
Yeah.
A couple of penalties went my way there on that one drive, a couple in a row.
Yeah, the drive, about your last drive that I got with 10:30 to go, that was the one that really broke down on the penalties.
Yeah. But too, when you're coaching a game like that, what are you worried about? Cleveland has 2 wins. Like I knew a couple times, like maybe it was 3rd and 6. I ran the ball because I knew I was going to go on 4th down.
Sure.
Like what do you have to lose? Like the games, like you can't play like that. You could, but you're not going to play like that because it's
not so much. Yeah.
But I can, and if it doesn't work, who cares? So that's a little easier for me, a little advantage, because I can do stuff like that. I went for 2, what do you have to lose, So.
Yeah, I thought that it was kind of smart on that first touchdown to go for 2. When you missed it, I thought that I've seen this before where I feel like, hey, that gives me an opportunity when somebody misses that on me. And then I was able to execute that perfectly later when I then followed up, went for 2 to extend to a 9-point lead. I thought I was in the driver's seat at that point. I felt like at 15-6, 9-point lead, even 2-point conversion is not going to bail you out. You need 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And the way our game was going, I thought that was going to be enough. But, I know there was some luck involved, but you got to give you credit. Anthony's right. You called a great game and fought hard to beat a good team tonight.
Yeah, I was surprised you went for 2 there. I saw that it, gave you a 9-point lead. And but if I was on the other side, I would kick it every time because now you have to score and make 2 just to tie. Of course, after 9 points now I need 2 scores. So that was
part of my calculus on that though is when you're the favorite, you've got a 1 or 2 win, 3-win team coming in, and you're trying to fight for a 1 seed, a division title, who knows what. You've got to take that chance. You have to.
Well, I thought that was a killer for me then. And then I looked at your running backs, and if I just guess run, none of them can get in, 2 yards, and the quarterback generally not. So I thought you got to pass it here, and you ran it. And if I'd have guessed run, you wouldn't have got it. So it was all stuff I wouldn't have done that worked,
Boy, that 99-yard drive is the one, I guess, where I think I must have ran Kareem Hunt 10 times on that drive.
Yeah, that was. I thought I was trying to hope to get a safety there,
That was my way of protesting the fact that I hadn't had much success running the ball yet. At that point, I'm not gonna lie, my brain was thinking, MF, we should be running the ball successfully. What is wrong?
Yes.
And you just get stubborn. I'm going to pound it until it works.
When you listen back on the broadcast, Tim, you'll see that we were pretty much in lockstep with that thought that, boy, these rushing yards don't make much sense. And Vince is double teaming a lot and very successfully.
Yep.
Come out and pound that rock. And then it's exactly what you proceeded to do and was very successful with it. And then things got a little bit chaotic because, you're getting penalties 2nd and 12s and stuff. Like you get 3 yards and 2nd and 7, you're in a good position to keep running there. But then you get like a false start, 2nd and 12. No, that's not going to cut it. You cannot run with your team on 2nd and 12. You really can't because you're going to wind up, best case, you're going to wind up in a 3rd and 6. That's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
So it kind of
Especially
took that option out of
not
your
real breakaway backs.
Yeah. So Vince, I do want to touch on your craftsman-like management of Ford's carries. So throughout the game,
very well done on that.
What were your thoughts going in with that?
Well, see there again, like where it's an advantage when you're filling in. Like I don't care if I overrun the guy, and I'm not being, ridiculous, but I'm thinking, he had all those short gains. If you're wrong, and you have to guess, Pat, like both of our short pass defenses are horrendous. That's why I double teamed. If I don't hit the right guy in a double team, you're completed all the time. I mean, my short pass card is horrible on defense,
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll run him and try to get some of those short gains. And then when he got tired, I thought, what the hell, if it's 1 yard less on a short gain, who cares, So then it was, I don't know what makes it get to 2 yards less than, I don't know how many carries. I noticed he ran one and it was 2 yards less than what it would have been. So
yeah.
But
you wound it up in the 3rd fatigue level at the end. So you actually shouldn't have been playing him at the end because it was automatic guessed right. But okay. The reason to keep him in, especially inside the 10.
Did we lose you, Anthony? We might have.
He's might have frozen.
It usually breaks up.
Notice that stuck out was the start of the second half. Start of the second half, you didn't start with him, and that told me you were really watching his carries carefully, because that was kind of an important drive, and you sort of showed restraint there.
Well, I thought when it gets like in the red zone or I was down by 2, I thought I got to burn his burn his carries. And what am I saving them for? So
yeah.
So that's
Tim. Any other thoughts from you?
No, just thanks to Vince as well as all of our subs for pitching in and being a part of this process, and working it with that process means you kind of got to be available on short notice, and it's pretty cool that we've got a nice group of guys that are doing that. So I thank you, Vince. You also did the Cleveland Browns very well. You won't help them in the draft next year. They're not going to get a higher pick because you got that win. But that's not an easy win, and you got it done, and you deserve all the credit for it. So, I got nothing but respect for how I got beat tonight. So,
okay, yeah, good game. I played Pittsburgh like that, and they won in overtime, and I was kind of glad they did. And I was sort of hoping you would win, because you could use the win, and I don't really need it, but it's just fun to play competitive, you know.
I looked at some of your scores leading up to the game. I was trying to, I looked at a few things, trying to get an assessment for what I say your scores, I really mean Cleveland, but forget an assessment on what they can deliver. And there were quite a few games where Cleveland was able to put up points. In my mind, they profile as such a strong defensive team, but really their defensive numbers in the USFFL from last year, as they're carded, not that great. Their strength is the sacks, and you and I produced 7 sacks before halftime in this one. I don't know where it ended, but
you had 2 of those. 2 got, one was a 2 and one was a 3 pass blocking, and so I kept blitzing on top of those guys. But then you kept throwing flat passes in there and killing them over there. So I
had to keep you honest and make you pay if you're going to bring those linebackers.
Yeah, so it was never know what's going to happen in there. But Cleveland's defense looks really good for next season.
Oh, heck yes.
Play this year, boy.
No wonder you'd love to have Cleveland next year.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd love to have them, but
well, you're doing pretty good with your own team in your own right. You got the Buccaneers at 8-6, and you're just on the fringe of a playoff spot. Just got to see how you finish down the stretch here.
Yeah, that division is so bad. You can go 500 and get in the playoffs, but I just wanted to take Brady, while he's still playing. Just like sometimes you don't get to coach, like a good player like that. So that's why I jumped to that team, but that didn't work out the best, and then now I still have them, but I'm always looking to change. I had Baltimore for a number of years. I started out with the Lions. They were so bad forever. And then The first year I had them, the first year I got in the league, I'll say it was like 05 or something. They were a terrible team. I don't know how many games they won in real life, not more than 5. And I started out like 0-5, and I wound up getting in the Super Bowl with them. It was like what I would do is I would run like every play I had to try to time of possession because my team was terrible. And but they were excellent against the run. So I'd guess pass every down and hope that half the time you'd roll it on my defensive guard. And then I'd run first and second down automatically and maybe throw a flat pass. Like you just had to try to keep eating the ball. And I got all the way to the end. I got in the Super, like I won one game, like Green Bay and Seattle were real good. Then I don't remember who. I won the game. I didn't even score.
Was this the Detroit Lions were in the Super Bowl in 2004. They got beat by the 18-1 Chargers.
Yes.
And Barry Cohen by a score of 24-10.
But it was 10-10 in the fourth quarter in that game. And I had a shot. But like the one game I won before that, I beat like 3 monsters, like Green Bay, Seattle. I don't know. But the one game
you beat like Seattle. You first beat Seattle 37-31 in the wild card round, 6 points. Then you beat the Eagles 27-23 in the divisional round. That advanced you to the championship game against the Packers. You won 37-30 in that one to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, one of those 2 wins before the Super Bowl, I don't think I scored an offensive touchdown. I had an interception return, a punt return, and a kickoff return. Something like my team was so bad. Like it's just luck, it was just luck. But it was fun trying to do it. And then
you
Baltimore
play this game long enough, you're going to lose a game like that. So don't ever feel bad when you win one for that reason.
Yeah, but I didn't belong there, but that's how I started out. And then Baltimore was a good team. Like their defense was good. So I think we won. Yeah. I might have won 3 Super Bowls or got in 3. I don't remember. But then
I actually, do have it, because you are actually one of our Hall of Fame coaches. I'm actually looking at the USFFL website right now.
Yeah, you beat my Falcons, I believe. You and I played in one of those Super Bowls, Vince.
Well, I know Dennis would get in there. I don't know which one it was. He had I looked on his offensive tendencies before the thing, and his 2-point conversions, he always threw a pass to, I'll say, the tight end. So I scored. It was tie game. I scored a touchdown, made the extra point, but there's a penalty. So then I generally go for 2 if it's only 1 yard, and I made it. So I was up 8. Somehow I got the ball like on my own 3, and I had to punt it. And he ran the punt all the way back to like the 2-yard line. And he wound up scoring with no time left. And he went for 2, and I double teamed that guy, and he threw it to him, and it was incomplete. Like, I don't know which one that was. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been any kind of run like that in a playoff, long time.
Well, you're one of only 3 coaches in the USFFL history to have 3 Super Bowl trophies to your name, all of them done with the Baltimore Ravens. So one of our coaches in the Hall of Fame right now. So congratulations to you.
I think one of those teams was undefeated. It was Minnesota. I think they were undefeated. And I played a couple practice games ahead of time, and they sacked the shit out of me. So I went like I formation shotgun the whole game. So he didn't get a sack. I was trying to find out what set would prevent sacks the most. And that's what I did. I went shotgun every play of the game. And I don't know what the score was or anything. But
17-7 is what you won in the Super Bowl to beat Minnesota.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I think they were undefeated. So yeah, that was a fun one too. But it's fun to play the football. Like I play a lot of baseball, but the football game is fun because, like Dennis Crowley and I used to talk about it. I get so pissed off, I was gonna quit the one time because, like here tonight, you double team the right guy 5 times in a row, and it's 15-yard or more gain every time. I'm thinking that's ridiculous. But baseball, that doesn't happen. Like, and I would tell him, I said, in baseball, if the guy hits 25 home runs and he hits 290, that's what he does. But this has so many variables, like double teaming the right guy, or keying on the runner that's running the ball.
Just got to control what you can control,
Yeah.
What's great about the game, though, is like even when you do double team and it's unsuccessful and they gain yards, the transparency, especially in the pro football game, you get to see exactly why it turned out that way. To me, at least, Vince, that does alleviate a lot of that frustration. That okay, I see that it was a dump off, and his offensive is a 7 versus somebody who wasn't a good pass rush, who didn't get the sack. It's the importance of the pass rush and then the dump off, and at least that logical flow is there for me to see transparently why that happened. That helps alleviate some of the pain.
I understand just because you double team a guy doesn't mean you can't catch it, but to me it's too high of a percentage where they successfully catch the ball when they're double teamed, or you key on the runner and it's a short gain or something,
I'm glad it's not any easier than it already is in a game where I, like down the stretch, trying to score on you late, little time on the clock. I'm staring at a potential, at most, of 5 potential receivers for a pass, 3 of which I know you can double. Maybe 4, maybe 4 if you want to commit that way and commit to abandoning flats completely. So I don't know. I think that double team is pretty strong the way they've got it coded. What do you think, Anthony?
First of all, it's not a complaint about strat, okay, and that you can escape double teams offensively. Really, the complaint is with the NFL, because the game just would not be close to realistic in terms of replicating the offensive production if double teams were that powerful. So the invention of the dump off, which is how you really escape double teams most of the time, is dump offs, is because Stratton needed to have a mechanism to be able to produce the offense that's somewhat came close to the crazy offense that was being produced since 2000 roughly in the league. That was the remedy for it. They had to do it. It's like it's the NFL's fault more than it is Strat's, given their objective of trying to replicate. But what's also interesting is if you look at the correlation of wins to the certain actions coach do in a game, the more you are double teamed offensively by your opponent, the more likely you are to win.
Really?
So, yeah, and that's pretty consistent. What's that?
Flesh that one out for me, AT.
Well, the correlate, you just look at a correlation coefficient, right? Which doesn't mean it's cause. It doesn't mean it's the cause. But if you just look at the correlations, those that face more double teams win more. Now, you might say that's because they're probably winning or whatever. Therefore, maybe the defensive coach is double teaming more, or they're a better team, or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is that's the case. Well, what real advantage do you get when your opponent double teams a lot? Well, double teams are only successful 15% of the time. So since double teams are only successful at that low percentage, you're opening up zones, especially the long pass zone, and you make yourself vulnerable. If double teams were successful 50% of the time more, I think it would be a different number.
Thank you. That makes you flesh that out perfectly. That makes sense to me, and I track with that thinking. That seems logical to me.
Yeah. A couple coaches they don't double team one time, like the younger Kaplan. I think I might be in another league with him too. Like he doesn't double team at all, So therefore, he doesn't leave his zone open. He doesn't leave his zone open, So, it's interesting how. And then other people they double team like maniacs,
Yeah.
It's
and some of that is not just coach related. Historically, I double team quite a bit with my free safety, but this particular set, the Chiefs cards, long pass, 0-man column, free pass to the end zone. I can't afford that risk very much. And typically, not to tip my hand here, I'm mostly, moving that safety just enough to so that I can get them to pass long here and there. I'm just trying to keep them honest with that. I want to keep my guy back there.
Yeah, I noticed. There was a couple times I thought 3rd and 1, you might, not have him back there. Especially I was running a lot. and you still wouldn't bring that guy up. I threw a couple long passes,
careful.
but you kept that guy back there.
Careful. I can't remember who it was. Somebody finally burnt me on that this season. I can't remember who it was, but I went the whole year where if I did that at the wrong moment, I somehow survived it. I didn't pay the price for the few times I'd done that until about 3 weeks ago. Somebody burned me long, and I'm like, well, it was a matter of time. Yep.
Well, great game. Just in summary, you had just two notches. I mean, the Chiefs are just multiple notches ahead of the Browns, and Jerome Ford is one equalizer. He's a major equalizer because no matter what, it doesn't matter what the defensive cards are or how good the defenders are. If they're all sixes, you got to think about that card, and you got to think about guessing a run because of that card. So that's one equalizer, but the other big equalizer was your defensive call. So those two things really brought you back to the win. So congratulations, Vince, once again.
Yeah, congratulations for sure, Vince, and great to finally get a chance to actually kind of meet you online. First time.
I've got a lot of stuff going on. I just yesterday I left 3:30 in the morning, drove 18 hours in a row to Florida, slept for 3.5 hours, got in a plane and flew back home. So I slept about 4 hours this afternoon, but so I can't, I am involved with the baseball quite a bit. I do really like that, but I like that, like the drafting and drafting like a young player that we're here.
What kind of baseball are you playing, Vince?
I mostly do the draft, continuous draft league. So like if I draft Bobby Witt,
Stratomatic, I guess, is that what I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been playing that since the first set I used was 1970, and we had a neighborhood, and actually a girl introduced us to the game, and we played it, and we had face-to-face leagues in the neighborhood, and then somewhere around college we had play-by-mail. It was real archaic, send discs, and it was horrible compared to how it is now, But then the first football game I bought was 1970 season. And then I bought the 72, like the complete set as well. But I had the 70 cards, and so I still have them, and that was a lot of fun. So then
these great childhoods that kids today could never imagine.
It was so much fun. We played like on rainy days. We played ball every day, all day long. But rainy days, we played a lot. We had a lot of leagues in baseball and football, and it was a lot of fun. So
yeah.
So then I said, hey, I wonder if I can get in a league. But see, the leagues here are just what do you call them? Like stock league, straight team. You don't draft any players, or where that's the fun part of the baseball is drafting a guy that might be good. You draft prospects. Some are good, some don't pan out. But I like that, But I really enjoy the competition of playing a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever played a draft league in football? Huh? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I have not. Dennis tried to get me in one or two of them. He's always got something going on. I used to play in one he had. I'm sure he still does it, where there were no usage rules. Like the guy had 10 carries on a season. He had some kind of monster card. You could run him every time if you want. And we played the games out of order if you wanted to, and I played.
So Battle Royale, maybe. Battle Royale.
Yeah, maybe it's just time. It's just time. But I never did the draft thing. I think it would be fun, but everything's so damn time consuming, So that's why I'm actually going to try to cut back and cut some of my baseball leagues I hate to because I have pretty good teams in them and won a couple World Series this year, but it's just time consuming. That's the
It is. I mean, the pure draft leagues, if you're going to analyze every 32 centers, 32 centers in the NFL, you can't just put your toe in the water. If you're going to do one, you may as well do five. You may as well do five because
it's so much
you're going to do all that work for one.
Yeah. Well, right.
But for Battle Royale, though, when you pick just the units, you pick a whole offensive line. That is much, much more manageable, that you can stick your toe in the water, which is why it's such a fun league anyway. Consider getting back into it when January rolls around here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
because
I never did
that's
the
fun
draft.
one.
Like I'm thinking, do you go take? Seems to me the quarterback would be the most important position you'd have to have if you're going to try to play anywhere. But then do you get the 6 middle linebacker, or do you take the best wide receiver? Like I don't know the strategies of what you're like in baseball. Do I want to get the starting pitcher? Or I want to get the Gold Glove shortstop, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know in football what those
Yeah,
sort of things would be.
in Battle Royale, where you take the units, right? The quarterbacks do trend up a little bit higher, but you see sometimes you see like Dennis took an offensive line first round.
Really?
Yeah, last year in our I think it was 84 retro summer sprint. Same format, right? You take the whole Miami offensive line, right, with all those sevens and the 1-5. So there is a lot of strategy there. If you do decide to play, let me know, because and you too, Tim, because I know you've done it once. There is a lot of strategy there. I've spent a lot of time sort of unpacking that strategy and really sort of getting into it, and I'd be glad to share some views on it to give you a head start, because it really isn't that hard, and with
Yeah, it sounds like it
just
would
a
be
half
fun.
hour.
I couldn't have done it without you when I did do it. You were exceedingly helpful in transitioning into that new kind of world for me.
So, like, do you pick like back in the 70s, like the Steelers had this awesome defense. So, like, would you pick like their run defense, but maybe you don't get their pass defense? How does that work?
Well, the defensive units are defensive line, so you get all of Pittsburgh's or whoever's defensive line as a
Okay.
draft pick. All of them. If they play anybody who's played defensive line, you get them. Or the linebackers, and you get all the linebackers. Or the defensive backs and all the defensive backs. So in 78,
okay.
my first round pick in 78 was the Denver linebackers. It was 6'6", 6'5".
Wow.
Right? And
Yeah, I
that was
remember they were.
the first round pick. Yeah.
I see.
I enjoyed
it
putting
makes
together a team based
So
on
how the hell
squad.
do you get them into the game? Like, how do I get Denver's linebackers with Pittsburgh's defensive line? How do you get that into the game?
the great Joe Golden goes in as we're drafting and just selects as a draft league, just selects those guys and puts them on your
Okay.
team.
Cool.
And by
Okay.
the time we're done with the draft, we already have a file, set
Yeah,
up with all
set
that
up.
in there.
Oh, that sounds
So-
like fun. Yeah.
So like last year, I had the first pick in the 84 league, and first pick overall, I took the San Francisco defensive backs, which were again like 6'5", 6'6". And it guaranteed me pretty much an excellent rated pass defense, which gives you defensive cards that are better than everybody else's defensive cards you play with.
And it's such a passing game. Yeah.
Yep. So sometimes it makes sense to do that. Sometimes it makes sense to go quarterback, right? It depends on how many good quarterbacks there are. Usually there's like 16 or 17 teams in those leagues. So you're always kind of looking at, okay, who's 15, 16, 17? Can I live with the worst halfback group or quarterback group? And if so, then you wait.
Yeah, right.
In some
right.
years, though, like 78, you don't want the 16th best quarterback.
Right.
There was like one good one. Burt Jones was the only good one. Right. And then.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, it was great talking with you guys.
All right, gentlemen.
So.
Have a great night, man.
Likewise.
Yep. Have a good night. All right. We'll see you.
All right. Take care. Anthony, thank you so much for doing the broadcast tonight. Much appreciated, buddy.
You too. It's great talking with you and to the playoffs. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.